Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony starts in 1 minute. Graduates and academic staff should be in line. Guests, please be seated.
Can I leave this? Don't touch anything. No, I'll put this underneath after I'm done. No, you give it to me. I'll give it to you. Starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to stand for the academic procession.
I wanted you to pause. I wanted you to repeat starts now and they have to be in line. Just do that one more time. Okay. And watch me for the pause.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony starts now.
Please, yes, be seated. Graduates in line.
Guests, you may remain seated. Graduates, please be in line. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to stand for the academic procession now and remain standing for the Australian National Anthem.
Okay, get ready. Richard.
Yeah, they're a good organisation. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. What a beautiful day we've got here in our lovely iconic Opera House. I'd like to make some introductory welcomes to start off with, if I may. Members of the GCA Board, UBSS Academic Senate, the faculty, academic support staff, and you, the graduates, and all our guests. You've just heard the national anthem of Australia, of which we are very proud, and all of you here today, if not citizens or permanent residents already, you are quasi-Aussies by just being in this room. Please be seated. Welcome to Universal Business School, Sydney Graduation Ceremony for the class of 2018. My name's Gerard Newcomb. Today I have the honour of being your Master of Ceremonies. I would like to welcome family, friends, parents who have come to the graduation ceremony from far and near. And most of all, I want to welcome our graduates. What you guys have done is quite amazing and not easy. There are 203 eligible students for graduation today. 87 of them are here with us in person for this event. All those students not present today, I'm sure you will join with me in wishing them the best wishes for their future and their future career. I would also like to welcome friends and family from around the world. That may sound a little strange, but why I'm doing that is because today, with the lovely technology of GCA TV, our UBSS YouTube channel, we are streaming this graduation worldwide. We have currently 36 countries represented in residence at UBSS. So we believe this event in the future and in its trimesters over the years will be watched by many people from all parts of the globe. Now today, I've spoken to a few of you this morning already, but today is not just a graduation ceremony. It symbolises something. It symbolises a point in your life where some of you will start entering professional employment. Pretty scary, yeah? You're going to start working like the rest of us now. You've had the study part, this is time for working. And so others will continue their studies like undergraduates, but all of you will go into a different sector of your life. If you're an undergraduate studying here with us, you may choose to continue and do the MBA program with our professional teaching staff that are here, or keep in touch just through the UBSS alumni program. Whether you're remaining in Australia, whether you're going back or moving to another country to work or to study, whatever you do, the choice today will determine your onward journey. What you have achieved today will be a guiding light that helps you achieve your future goals. All of us here today recognise how important today is to you. We hope that today is special. To the end, we have located it right here. I mean, this must be the most iconic symbol of Australia with that harbour bridge you see there in the background. We couldn't find a more fitting place to have our graduation than right here. And we wanted it to be special for you, so that's why we choose this venue. Now, I would like to make sure you take selfies. We're all here, all these charming professors are very photogenic, and they just love having their picture taken. Okay, so just make sure you take lots of selfies and make sure you use this beautiful backdrop that we have on the harbour of Sydney here. Now, I would like to firstly formally welcome members of our senior GCA management team and our management staff. Firstly, Professor Greg Waitley, who you all no doubt know, is the Executive Dean and Chair of the UBSS Academic Senate. Mr. Graham Locke, who unfortunately is indisposed today, but Graham is our Chief Financial Officer and keeps us all under control and makes sure all the money goes to the right place. I'd also like to welcome Professor Wayne Smithson, Associate Professor Wayne Smithson. Wayne, who is sitting right next to me, is the Program Director for the Bachelor in Accounting Program. I'd also like to welcome Associate Professor Felix Stravins. Felix is the Program Director for our Bachelor of Business. Welcome, Felix. And I do understand, Felix, this is your first graduation? Correct? With us? Wonderful. I'd like to welcome Professor Ray Hayek. Professor Hayek is the Program Director for our Master of Business Administration. Welcome, Ray. Good to see you. And Associate Professor Andy West, who I have known for quite some time. Andy's the Foundation Director of our Centre for Entrepreneurship and does a remarkable job projecting the image of GCA and what we're doing here with you guys. Welcome, Andy. I would like to also welcome members of the GCA and UBSS faculty and academic support staff. A lot of people don't see these individuals, but believe me, these people play a very, very special role in the day-to-day operation, and not only with helping you guys, but they help us as well. And to that end, I'd like to thank all the support staff that are here today for their time and the effort and the workload that they put in. I would now like to ask Professor Andy West, the Director of our Centre for Entrepreneurship and Academic Senate member, to officially open the ceremony and admit the graduates to their program qualifications. Would you please welcome Andy to the stage?
Thank you, Sir Gerard. I declare UBSS 13th Graduation Ceremony officially opened. As mentioned earlier, it is our hope to create for you a memorable and fitting event to confer your awards. The setting of the Sydney Opera House is ideal for such a celebration and in many ways highlights the importance and the significance of this event in your academic life. Would the graduate please stand? On behalf of the UBSS Academic Senate and the Group Colleges Australia Board of Directors, I admit you to the degrees to which you are qualified. For those that are unable to present today, I admit them to the degrees for which they qualify in absentia. Graduates, please be seated.
Thank you, Andy, for that gracious welcome. Graduates, just to fill you in on how things are going to work now, so there's no confusion and everybody knows what they're doing, the procedure from now on will be that I will call the names of each of the graduating students individually in the order they appear in the graduation booklet. After your name is called, would you please come up from where you are seated to the centre of the stage, where Professor Waitley will present you with your program award. Once you have received your documents and had your photograph taken, and make sure you do have your photograph taken because it will be something you're showing your family and your children in the future. After that happens and you've received your documents, please proceed across the stage, down the stairs and back to the seat where you are now. I now call, well, before I call them actually, I want to say something about these two individuals. This takes a lot of planning and a lot of time and effort. And it's not easy. You've got to deal with a lot of people and you've got to go through a lot of hardship. Two young ladies that have been outstanding in helping us set this up and making it perfect for you is Natasha Jacques, who I think is standing right behind me, and the wonderful Madalena Tresca. Where are you, Madalena? Right there. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate what you've done for us, and as always, you've been very professional and handled this with absolutely spectacular skill. Now, I call upon both of you to assist with the distribution of the testaments. Could you please help? Now, ladies and gentlemen, while everybody's getting ready, Ian, our photographer, is a photographic fanatic. So he will be taking pictures all day long. And when you're here in the lineup, I'm sure Ian will take photographs of you. When you come up to say hi to me, he will take it. And by all means, when Professor hands you the documentation, take that little bit of time so you've all got those photographs, guys, okay? Are we all ready, Madalena? Okay. My first call to the stage, Mary Elizabeth Alpio. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while we're waiting for this, I apologise in advance if I mispronounce any names. I'm getting pretty used to this, but you never know your luck, okay? So if I mispronounce your name slightly, do forgive me. Madalena?
Number 2.
Okay, I call Syed Nassim Abbas.
Thank you, sir.
Number 4.
Okay, I now call Nafez Al Amin.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, sir.
Number 5.
I now call Muhammad Ali.
Number 7.
I now call Muhammad Junad Ashad.
Number 9.
Would Karam Shizad Awan, please?
Number 10.
Akwel Ijaz Bajwa. How do I pronounce that?
Number 11.
Ahmed Ya Hassan Bahati. John Iman Kanapi.
Number 13.
Vijay Navial Dave.
Well done. Congratulations.
Number 14.
Asma Dakar.
17.
Kimberly Claire Geronimo.
Kimberly, good to see you. You did very well. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. 15.
Chantos Dakal.
Santos, how are you? Well done, my friend. You did really well. Congratulations.
18.
Suwan Gurung.
How are you, Suman? Yeah, good job. Yeah, thank you.
19.
Jakub Henke.
Yeah. How are you, Jacob? Yeah, congratulations. Well done.
6. Whoa. Ama Anis.
Yeah. How are you, Anna? Congratulations. Well done.
Ali Masar Hayat.
How are you, Ali? Yeah, congratulations, well done. Okay.
One. Syed Hasib Ulam Hassani.
How are you? Yeah, good work, mate. You did well. Okay, yeah. 2.
Mayan Yu from Vietnam. Lovely to see you. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. Mohammed Hassan Ismail.
Yeah, Mohammed, how are you? Yeah, good work. You did really well. Congratulations. Yeah.
24.
Okay. Mahak Javad.
How are you, Mahak? Yeah, you did really well done.
25.
Niraj, oh no, Syed Ali Kazmi.
Was that correct? Okay. Congratulations. You did really well.
26.
26. Niraj Karul Karal. Hassan Hamad Khan.
Yeah. How are you, Hassan? Yeah, really good to see you. Really well done. Congratulations. Okay.
28.
28. Oops. Mohammed Abul Khan.
How are you, Mohammed? Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, well done.
29.
9. Salik Khan.
Yeah, Salik, how are you? Yeah, congratulations. Well done. Appreciate it. Okay.
30.
Rohit Kumar.
Yeah, hey, Rohit, how are you? Yeah, congratulations. Well done. Yeah.
31.
Anil Mahandra.
Yeah. How are you, Nadia? Yeah. Well done, my friend. You did really well.
32.
Pamela Majares.
How are you, Pamela?
33.
Andrew Mongia.
Yeah. Andrew, how are you? Thank you so much. Yeah, congratulations. Well done.
34.
Mohammed Naved.
Yeah. How are you, Mohammed? Congratulations. Thank you so much. Well done. Yeah. You're welcome.
35.
Decam Nugent. 35? Yeah,
So, my apologies. 36.
that's quite all right. Hong Nugent.
Hey, how are you? What part of Vietnam? Hanoi. Oh, yeah. I like Hanoi. I love the history. Congratulations. Yeah.
37.
37. Hassan Raza.
How are you, Hassan? Yeah, good to see you. Congratulations, my friend. Yeah.
38.
Kiran Sadif.
I hope I pronounced that right. Good of you. Congratulations. Well done. Okay.
39.
Haramapret Saini.
How are you? Yeah, congratulations. Thank you. Hope everything went well and you enjoyed yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Hafsa Shafat.
I hope that was right.
Yeah, that's
Sounded good? Yeah. Congratulations. Well done. Yeah.
41.
Shama Shah.
Hey, how are you, Shama?
How are you? Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done. I hope you have a good one.
You too. Thank you. What time? 42.
42. Uzama Sheikh.
How are you? How are you? Well done. Yeah, I hope you had a good time here. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
52.
Ooh, 52. Ooh. Okay. 52. Makaram Ali.
Yeah. How are you, Matthew? Yeah, congratulations. Well done.
43.
43. Supan Shrethra.
How are you, Supan? Yes. Nice to meet you. Good luck. Congratulations.
Moez Ahmed Siddiqui.
I hope that was close. Congratulations. Thank you. You did really well. Thank you.
45.
Grit Singh.
How are you, Greg? Yeah, great to see you. Yeah, congratulations.
Nasir Sobrat.
Yeah. How are you, Nasir? Yeah, congratulations. Well done.
47.
Nubir Tanoli.
How are you? Yeah, much
Mina Wang. How are you, Mina? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Yeah,
I
thank
hope you had a good time with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Good.
Number 2.
Number 2. Oh, my goodness. Syed Abbas. Number 3. Oh, no, Usman Ahmed. Is that correct? Yeah. Usman, how are you? Yeah, congratulations. Where are we up to now?
51.
51. Raza Tahal. Yeah. How are you? Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed yourself.
49.
49. Amara Zafar. How are you, Amara? Yeah.
Number 8.
Number 8. Yushan Ashraf. How are you, Ashraf? Yes, good. I hope you had a good time. Congratulations. Okay.
53.
53. Angelina Handoko. How are you, Angelina? Yeah. Well done. Sanket Kumar. Sanket, congratulations. Well done. Okay, you're welcome.
55.
Abid Ali. Hello, Abid. How are you? Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope you had a good time with us. And congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay, you're welcome.
56.
Nung Ho. Yeah. How are you? Yeah, congratulations. I hope you're happy here. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
57.
Daniel Adil. Yeah. How are you? Yeah, congratulations. Well done, my friend. Yeah.
58.
Sohab Ahmed. Yeah. How are you? Congratulations. Well done. Okay. 59. Okay. Mohammed Alapra. Yeah. Hi, Mohammed. How are you? Yeah, congratulations. Well done. Yeah. Bilal Azari.
61.
One sec. Mohammed Aqil. How are you, Mohammed? Yeah, congratulations. Well done. Yeah.
63.
Hira Ayub. Hi, Hira. How are you?
Thank you.
Well done. Okay.
64.
Abajid Bagul. Yeah, yeah. Congratulations, my friend. Well done. Yeah.
65.
Wajaha Abad. Yeah, hi, Wajaha. How are you? Congratulations. Well done.
68.
68. Nadine Cheek. How are you, Nadine? Finally, yeah. It takes a while.
Sorry, 69.
Okay. Hang on a sec. Erica. How are you, Erica? Yeah.
70.
Jumet. How are you, Jumet?
Thank you very much. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you played it all over. Okay. 71, Jangadeep Junja. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hope you get- yeah.
72.
Okay, 72, Sankar Kumar. How are you, Sankar? Yeah, thanks very much. Welcome. I hope you had a good time.
66.
Okay. Abdel Kamar. Yeah. Abdel, how are you? Yeah, congratulations. I hope you did well. Yeah, thank you.
74.
Pawana Pret Kyle, how are you? Yeah, congratulations. I hope you're happy. Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Good for you.
75.
Sajid Khan. Yeah. How are you, Sajid? Yeah. Did you have fun being with us? Right. Yeah. Okay.
77.
Yeah. Faraz Khan. Hiya, Faraz. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, great to see you. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. 70. Oh, next page. What do we got? Umir Baloch. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, are you happy? Yep, great. Yeah, good for you. Mm.
79.
Hatai Nipa Wan Rich. Sawadi Kap. Sawadi Mai. Miความสุขไหม? That's good. Congratulations. Yeah, welcome. Farah Zogra. Oh, you mean, I'm so happy and pleased to see you finally graduate, my friend. I hope you had a good time studying with us. Yep, congratulations. Yeah.
81.
Frizai Okra. How are you? Great. Congratulations. Oh, you sure this person's ready? You sure? I don't know about this. Yeah, you sure this one's not? Yeah? Is it okay? Okay, Usman Sidhu. Hey, congratulations, my friend. Yeah, congratulations, my bro. Avinash Sukara. How are you, Avinash? Well done. Yeah. 86. T-Tron. Yeah. How are you? Are you happy? Yeah? You have a good time? Okay, congratulations.
87. Same year.
Oh yeah, Salma Moran. Yeah?
87.
Yep, that's it. How are you?
Very good.
Congratulations. Well done. You had a good time?
Yeah.
Okay.
The best one.
That's good. Wait for a second. Madalena? 88. Tanvo, how are you? Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, you happy? You from Vietnam? Yeah. Yep, what part? Yeah? Congratulations. That's it for all of them? Okay. Now, everybody having fun so far? Yes? Good, good. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah? You enjoying the sunshine? Yeah, that's the way to go. You just wait until afterwards where we take lots of pictures and all chat. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, we have now presented all the degrees to those present here at this ceremony. I will now ask Professor Greg Waitley, our Executive Dean and Chair of the UBS Academic Senate, to announce and present a special award. This award is called the Professor Guthrie Award for Outstanding Achievement. Would you welcome Professor Waitley to the stage, please? Yep. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Professor Guthrie Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement is named after the inaugural chairman of the UBSS Council, the late Emeritus Professor Guthrie. It is awarded to the student in the graduating class who has most distinguished himself or herself and demonstrates genuine academic excellence. Now, this award is thought over hard and long because it's a very special award and it's not taken lightly. For the 2018 graduation ceremony at UBSS, today we present that award to Wijaha Wagwabat. Wijaha, could you come up here, please? Wijaha is a graduate of the Master of Business Administration. I now call her to the stage and have Professor present her with her award. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please congratulate Wajaha. Well done. Yeah, great to see you. Now it's my turn to sit down and rest for a little while, and I would like to introduce the gentleman who's going to be our occasional address speaker for today's ceremony. Professor Waitley completed a Diploma of Teaching with majors in music and psychology, a Bachelor of Education in Curriculum Design and Development, a Bachelor of Music Education with a Music Education focus, a Graduate Diploma in Educational Administration with a focus on organisational behaviour, a Master of Education with Assessment and Evaluation, a Doctorate in Virtual Pedagogy. Throughout his teaching career, he has maintained a keen interest in how and why people learn. Dr. Waitley began his teaching career in 1975 in the area of music and arts education at both primary and secondary school level. He has taught at every level of formal education, from level K right up to PhD level. He has either taught, researched or addressed in 4 states and 5 separate countries. I'm not making this up, this is really true. He commenced his work in tertiary sector at the University of Tasmania in Hobart in 1989 as a lecturer in music education. He moved to Griffith University on the Gold Coast in 1991 as a senior lecturer in music education. He served as head of school arts and during that time managed the Film and Television Music Postgraduate Awards at the University and the Queensland Conservatorium of Music, where he also served as Deputy Dean and he became an Associate Professor and Director in the Central Queensland Conservatory of Music, where he co-founded with Professor Ian Boffinger, Australia's first virtual conservatorium. He also had positions as head of school at Arts and manager of business initiatives and creative arts. Professor Waitley took the position of general manager and professional head of school at the Australian Institute of Music in 2004. He also held the position of Senior Visiting Fellow at the College of Fine Arts, University of New South Wales from 2006 to 2008, and Director of Education and Quality at the National Centre for Language Training at the University of New South Wales. From mid-2005 to the end of 2008, Greg held the position of Senior Visiting Fellow at the Wesley Institute, where he chaired the academic board and managed the Master of Music program, Arts Management Strand. In 2008, Greg was appointed Principal of the Australian International Conservatorium of Music. He also was the Consulting Chair of Arts Management at the Sydney Opera House in association with Australian Institute of Music. In 2011, Greg accepted the post of Deputy Dean at UWS College, University of Western Sydney. He became Dean of that college for 7 years, and he was Chair of the Academic Board of the Australian Institute of Music. His teaching areas include pedagogy, human behaviour, organisational leadership, organisational behaviour, critical management, qualitative research, mythology, and music history and form. Professor Waitley is currently our Dean at UBSS, researching and writing in the areas of quality management and equality, and teaching in the areas of management and leadership. He is the author of more than 250 external publications and advises in the area of accreditation, quality assurance, government reporting, e-learning, M-learning and B-learning. He is currently a member of the editorial board of International Journal of Innovation, Creativity and Change, a reviewer for the British Education Research Journal, a member of the academic board of Asia Pacific College, a member of the academic board of Australian College of Health and Wellness, and the Academic Senate of UBSS. Greg is also a Director of Group Colleges Australia and a Fellow of the Australian Institute of Management. You can see by that biography of Greg why we are so pleased to have him here with us as the Dean of UBSS College, where you all have just graduated from. Greg has brought with him expertise and knowledge that is far lacking in parts of the education industry throughout Australia. Now, with the insight that Greg has brought with him and the knowledge he has moulded this college, and he has helped develop you, the graduates, into the professionals that you are today. He has a vast background of knowledge, as you could see, and we are so pleased to have him with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Professor Greg Wakely to the stage.
Thank you, Sir Gerard, for that extensive introduction. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. By way of a start, and I promise to keep this fairly brief, an hour or so should do it, I wanted to say how much I love graduations. And I love graduations for many reasons, but the two in particular are one, and I'm sure everybody else is feeling it today as well, is this wonderful sense of achievement. So I just said to 87 people, congratulations on a great achievement. So I love graduations because I'm surrounded by successful people. That's what graduations are all about. And the second reason I love graduations is because there are very few places in Sydney, in fact there are very few places in the world, where you can go dressed like this and not be ridiculed. So I wanted to share with you the fact that being an international student, which is essentially all of our students at UBSS and all of our current graduates, being an international student is no small feat, and particularly to be successful in a foreign country. And how do I know this? Is because I too have been an international student on 3 occasions. The first occasion was in my undergraduate days when I went to the UK to study for a year as part of my Melbourne program. And I thought I spoke English, but when I got to Cambridge, I realised that in actual fact I spoke this kind of weird dialect called Australian. And if you think my classmates didn't enjoy calling me things like Skippy and the like, they thoroughly enjoyed it because they argued that I didn't speak English at all. But I'm pleased to say I did quite well in that program, a lot better than many of the Brits did, so that was good. Probably the most challenging experience, and this may be more of where you've come from and your experience, is I had a year in Italy, and in those days it was all in Italian. Today you can go to the University of Florence and study in English, but in my time, some 30 years ago, it was all in Italian. And I have to tell you, my Italian wasn't all that good. And I certainly was on a learning curve. In fact, I remember sitting in my room in a dormitory at the university and thinking about a week into it, what have I done? Why have I done this to myself? And you may have experienced that feeling as well. But after a year, all was fine, all was fine. And my third experience was in the US, in Boston. And they don't speak English at all in the United States. They speak a dialect quite beyond me. But that was a great experience. And all of those international experiences helped me think and do things probably in a different way to many of my colleagues in Australia. So the most valuable thing, in my opinion, you can do is do a degree in a foreign country, because it changes the way you see the world. I had 3 opportunities. I'm hoping you get the chance for 3 opportunities as well. So I understand how you feel in some ways, and I congratulate you on an extraordinary achievement, particularly those where English is not your first language, which is in most cases the situation. When I was at university, way back, we all thought that everybody would speak French, because French was touted as the international language. So when I went to Melbourne Uni, well, to get into the university, I had to do a language at school. And the only language my school taught was Latin, which I have to tell you is not a particularly useful communication tool unless you meet the Pope. See, it is actually the official language of the Vatican, Latin, but unless you meet the Pope, the chances of you using Latin are pretty slim. But it did teach me one thing, and that is how to write. Because of the grammar of Latin, I actually became quite a good writer as a result of it. So who would have known all those tedious years of studying Latin? But when I went to the university, they told me there were 2 languages that were going to be the international languages. And if you wanted to make your way through the international world, you needed to speak French. Well, there was an opportunity. They had a language called Esperanto, which was this weird combo of a few other languages. So I dutifully did French at university and hardly ever use it, because it turned out that English, of all languages, became the international language. And there are 3 people responsible for that. Their names are Michael Jackson, Madonna, and Paul McCartney. If it wasn't for those 3 people who changed the course of international language, I would have been presenting your awards and speaking today in French. And you would have all been studying in French at UBSS. But as the world changed, so did the language. I wanted to congratulate everybody sitting in front of me on a brilliant achievement. Some of you are familiar faces. There's a bit of a joke in my business that if you get to see the executive dean, it's usually to say goodbye. So I have met a number of you under circumstances where we've had a chat and you've promised to make a commitment to go forward. There's no need to put your hand up. I recognised you. So for those students in particular who were struggling with one thing or another, congratulations. I knew you could do it. It was just a matter of application. For those other beautiful MBA students who I've actually taught in my research class, I congratulate you, because all of you are outstanding students and will make a huge contribution to the world. I wanted to share 2 other things with you. One of them is, I have to be honest, I kind of envy you. As Jared read out my career, this is the career of someone who is finishing up. So I'm thinking of retirement very soon. In fact, my children, I noticed the other night, were flicking through those old age home brochures. So they're obviously planning to ship me off somewhere. But I envy you because you're just starting. And what a wonderful thing it is to start something. It's just a wonderful, wonderful time in your life. So enjoy every moment of it. And I envy you because I wish I was starting rather than finishing. The only thing, though, is I wouldn't mind starting again, but I'd like to know what I know now when I start, rather than have to work it all out over 45 years. So congratulations and all the best there. Now, it's mandatory for me to give you advice. That's what I do. So I'm going to give you 2 pieces of advice, both of them important. The first one is Very simple. Work hard. If you're going to be an accountant, be the best accountant. If you're going to be a manager, be the best manager. Be the most informed manager. Be the most educated manager. If you're going to run a place like the Opera House, do it at the very best level you possibly can. If you're going to run a business, a factory, whatever, do it at the best of your ability. Work hard. If you work hard, you will be successful. No question. Work hard. And the second piece of advice, probably equally as important, is this. Be good to your mother. If you work hard and you look after your mum, life will be good. Congratulations and all the very best for the future.
Thank you, Professor Waitley. I now call upon Wijaha Wakwabat to deliver the vote of thanks. Wijaha, would you please come up? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Wijaha to the stage.
Okay. Good noon, everyone. I'm not going to take a lot of time because I know it's hot and everything. First of all, I want to say that it's such an honor and it was totally unexpected. So if this speech comes out more like a presentation or even a lecture, I apologize. Congratulations. I would like to say congratulations to UBSS on completing yet another graduation ceremony and another year. And I would also like to congratulate all my fellow students on achieving another milestone of their life. We've done it. And obviously, the families and friends who are here, congratulations to you too. As Professor Greg said, that all of us came here as international students, and it was really unfamiliar setting, but we have to adapt. And I like to thank UBSS to make it simple, effective for us to adapt quickly and make it feel like a home to us. Thanks to UBSS for all the help and guidance for making us feel comfortable in this setup. I would like to thank Alan and Professor Greb for making UBSS a place where innovation is valued, and not only the literal innovation, but also the innovation of human being, like our thinking processes. Oftentimes, when I left classrooms, I would think that my way of thinking, my way of processing things is changing slowly, and I believe that all of you felt the same. I would also like to thank all of our program directors, Professor Ray and Professor Wayne in particular, because I've done 3 subjects with him, for being so generous and for being so helpful all times and coming up with programs that really helped us and made it possible for us to survive in the real world. The programs that they designed were more relevant with the world outside, and I hope that it's going to be really beneficial for all of us. I would also like to thank all of my professors. Say, for example, Professor Wayne, I've already called his name, Sayyiduddin, Professor Sunaina, and also I haven't studied a subject with Professor Nilima, but I met you on, and I've heard really good word about you, so I kind of feel bad about curving around finance subjects now. So, and obviously I cannot forget about the student support staff, Madelina and Richard. Thank you so much for being there always. I know, And while I'm thinking, also going to apologize on behalf of all of us for keeping you on your toes and getting you all worked up. And I remember one time, I didn't bug you much. There was just this one time when I had a class in the morning at 8:30 and the other class at 5:30 in the evening with a 5 or 6 hour gap in between, and I was really upset about that. So I went to Richard and I told him, what am I going to do in all these hours? And Professor Greg was sitting in his office and he said, you could study. And so I became a VIP person with events cinema in that semester. And lastly, I would like to thank UBSS once again, because it was a platform where we came here alone, but friends became family, and it gave us people who really helped us in this journey. And lastly, thanks to UBSS that once again, I would like to thank all of you, and especially one more person that I forgot, my aunt and uncle. I've been freeloading at their place for 2 years, and I cannot forget them. Thank you so much for supporting me so I could put all of my focus into studying. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wijaha. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen and viewers, that pretty much concludes the presentation of the program awards. Wait a minute, how do you guys feel? Do you feel good? Yeah, stand up. Let me see you, stand up. Yeah, come on. Turn to the person next to you, and shake their hand. And again, the other way. Go on. Because all of you really should be proud of what you've achieved here today. Please take a seat. As said, this concludes the presentation of the Program Awards, the Professor Guthrie Award, all our speeches, and really concludes the formal part of today. That doesn't mean today is over. As soon as our wonderful learned gentlemen in the academic profession, they would all make their way to the lounge area downstairs, and we would also ask all the graduates, their families, their friends to join us in the lounge area downstairs. The same level, in fact, where you registered for your gowns today. After that's over, walk down the stairs for your group photo with the magnificent Harbour Bridge and the magnificent Sydney Harbour behind you. This is where we get to take all the pictures. It's the good part, guys. Okay? We have this harbour as our beautiful, beautiful backdrop. We normally get the photographs done now after you have gone down to the foyer downstairs, because then everybody likes to spend time with their families, everybody likes to drink and enjoy the festivities. After the photographs are done, the drinks and canopies will be served, so please stay with us and celebrate the success of today's graduates. Before we go, I'd like once again to thank my learned colleagues that are here today, Professor Greg Wakely, Professor Hayek, Professor Wayne Smithson, Professor, and new to us, but getting the hang of things very quickly, Felix, and of course to you, Andy, as well. Thank you, guys. I'm sure the students appreciate what you've done for them. Guys, join me in thanking the academic team. Now, if you would all stand, please, for the departure of the academic procession. The staff will recess first, followed by the graduates. Madalena, in her normal excellence, will make sure everything goes to plan. Thank you, Madalena. Thank you once again, everyone. Have a nice afternoon.